Raphael, do you have the power to turn on my video?
I should.
Because I'm on my phone and
We're live now, by the way.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Okay. So welcome everybody to the June 2026 meeting of the CB2's Health and Human Services and Education and Unhoused and Shelter Committee. So tonight we have a presentation from Dr. Stella Saffo about the Green Book for Health. So welcome, Doctor.
Thank
We're
you so
happy,
much for having me.
we're happy to have you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Shall I go ahead and jump in?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I'm Stella Saffo. I'm an HIV primary care provider. I live in Brooklyn and I see patients at Mount Sinai and Callan Lord. And I have done work in HIV healthcare, but also in systems design. How do we make our health systems better? And one of the things that I think we've noticed, I've noticed and colleagues have noticed in the last few years is that certain groups, certain marginalized groups are feeling less and less safe about where they're getting healthcare and how they're being engaged with in the healthcare setting. And so the Green Book for Health is a community-led initiative that comes from that. And I've now met with a couple of community boards to talk about this because our products are now available. We have an app and we have a resource guide, and it feels important to really bring this to the New York community. And I'll tell you a little bit about why that history feels important. My presentation is pretty short, mainly because my kids are home and they're asking for me. So I will present and I will share with you a couple of slides, and then I would love to hear any questions. And my main goal or my main ask is to be able to be in partnership so that we can share the resource guide and a couple of other sources. So as I mentioned, this is an initiative that was created for and by members of the Black community, started in New York, and it is now a national initiative. And it comes from the Green Book, the original Green Book, the Traveler's Green Book or the Negro Motorist Green Book. In the 1900s, when Black folks left the Jim Crow South with the Great Migration, they started to travel back for the summers to their families down south in the parts of the Midwest. And they needed some ways to know where was safe to go. And the Green Book was that way. And it was started by Victor Hugo Green, who was a postal worker in New York City, actually. And I always love that, this started in New York because we're in New York. And there's something about that kind of history getting pulled back in that I really think is kind of poetic and beautiful. But the Green Book was needed for a period of time. It lasted for about 30, 40 years, and then it sunsetted. And it feels now like the Green Book is again needed. And the reason why we created this was a few years ago, community members were saying, Doc, you're always coming to talk to us about how we have to see our doctors and take care of our health. But where do we go? Where do we know that's safe? And can we create a green book to be able to understand how to get to safety? This comes from an understanding of the different disparities in health outcomes around cancer mortality and maternal mortality, which gets talked about a lot. Black women have the highest mortality around childbearing with infectious diseases and chronic illnesses. And this is not an initiative that is just trying to match Black patients with Black doctors, but it is worth noting that if you think about diversity sometimes being helped by the number of physicians you have in the workforce, Black physicians only make up about 4 to 5% of the physician workforce, and that number is going down with some of these civil liberties and civil like affirmative action and other things that have been repealed and reversed in the last few years. So in this setting, Black books are asking for a solution, and the Green Book for Health is part of our solution. We have a resource guide, which I have a copy here. That's a physical printed copy because some of us like printed things. And you can see it here. And it essentially is a way for you to be able to think about how you navigate your healthcare journey. What do you do before, during, and after your healthcare journey? You can even tear out some of the pages so you have a sort of checklist that you can use. Obviously, anyone can access this. This is open to all individuals because all of us need guidance with our healthcare journey. Um, and the reason why this felt particularly important to create is because not everyone will be able to go to a doctor or a health center that feels safe to them. And so how they navigate discrimination, how they prepare for their visits, etc., is outlined in this resource guide. The resource guide is both online, and as I said, we're going to be printing physical copies. So one offering to your community board is, would you guys like some copies to give to members, to give to folks in the neighborhood, and just to be able to have as something to share. I also think about getting this out in things like health fairs and other things that folks may be a part of. So really open to thinking about that dissemination work around the resource guide. The community guide is the thing that we're really excited about. And I've already showed you the resource guide, but let me just show you the community guide. It's an app. And this app is interesting because you can access it on your phone. Right now, it's only through the App Store. We're getting it onto the Google platform as well. But you access it, you type in Green Book for Health, you create an account. And we are clear, we created this for Black folks. So we're asking Black healthcare users to please be the ones who enter information about what health providers they've liked, what health services that they've liked, and what they haven't liked. We're getting very rudimentary information right now just to kind of get us started. And as time goes on, we'd love to layer in even richer and deeper information to make it a very expansive resource. But that is ready today. That app is available and exists. So one of the asks as well is, can you help us figure out how we share it with your community to say, hey, if you're a Black person looking to direct other Black people to good health services, use this app to do so. Or if you're a Black person looking for a cardiologist or someone else who's good for you in your neighborhood, here's what other people have said in your neighborhood. So you can imagine that the app only works as well as people fill it, which is why we're here talking about this work. How do we get it out into our communities? How do we get support for it? How do we answer any questions that might come up? As part of that, we're also recruiting for ambassadors who might be individuals who live in their communities, who maybe have a little bit more time, who can connect to members in the Black community to share about the Green Book for Health. And then in general, the kind of thing that we're asking for is just to help spread awareness. So we are on social media at Green Book for Health, and we have a website that's greenbookforhealth.org or .com, either one works. And so you can check that out to get more information. But as the co-creator of this, I wanted to come and kind of speak to it and then answer any questions that may come up. And I'll stop sharing.
Okay.
Yeah,
glad-
Amparo. Please.
No, go
Lauren,
ahead. No, go ahead. No, Dr. Safa, that's okay. That's all right. Go ahead.
So my first question, since I'm not familiar with the platform, is do you have insurance specific information? Because I know for myself, I went to a provider who I was very happy with, comfortable with, culturally sensitive, all the things. And then she left the practice, and then whatever practice she's aligned with doesn't take my insurance anymore, right? So then I can't see her, and I'm like, oh no, what do I do? So I'm wondering if the platform can speak to that.
That is a brilliant question. The exact same thing just happened to me. I was at New York Presbyterian. They stopped taking my insurance, and I'm having to find new doctors. So in this first iteration, one of the things, like we have this I'm Ghanaian, and we have this saying like, you cut the cloth according to the size that you can chew or something like that. It sounds better in our language, but what we have done for this first iteration is really map it to what we can offer, like in terms of the information that we can get. So we don't have a team that can go on the back end and evaluate the insurances taken by each provider. So right now that's not going to be offered. But your question is a question that I've been thinking a lot about. And I actually think that maybe one of the things we'll create is a tutorial for people for, okay, I think I like this doctor, but how do I know if they take my health insurance or not? There's a couple of steps that they're not super easy, but they're like easy to me because I'm in healthcare and, but that we can outline for people to be able to do. So I think that that is a more immediate need, like a how-to around the insurance. And then our goal as we get more funding and more support is to actually have a team on the back end so that every time a new reference gets added for a doctor, they will go and either through calling or some other, high touch manner, evaluate the insurances that are taken and then update it to the list. You can see how that's really time intensive. And so that's why it's not in there yet. Thank you for the question.
Dr. Raz, did you? Okay, I wasn't sure if Dr. Raz has, because I was going to prioritize Dr. Raz, because I know I has to leave in a few minutes. Can you speak more to the funding of this then? Because you said in terms of getting funding. So who's funding it?
So the pilot project was funded by RWJF. We got about $130,000 from them.
And what is RWJF?
Oh, I'm so sorry. Robert Wood Johnson Foundation.
Okay.
So a lot of places are not funding. They're afraid to fund in the current environment projects and things that are focusing on marginalized groups. So if you say trans, at this point, even if you say like women, some funders are nervous. So we've had a hard time getting funded, in part because we're clear that we are for the Black community, given the ways in which the Black community is impacted. And so Robert Wood Johnson Foundation has been a good first supporter, and we are hoping to continue to get some support from other groups that are equally aligned. We're also thinking like, is there a business model for this? So I would never ask people to pay for a service that's meant to help them with their health, because I just think there's something about it that doesn't match the idea of reparations that I really believe in. But can we ask health providers? Can we ask health centers? Can we ask payers, like insurance payers? So we're also thinking about other ways to be able to sustain and support this. And I'm open to any ideas y'all may have. If you're like, I sit on the board of this foundation and we'd be interested, God bless you.
I wish I had those connections in some ways. Um,
Or like,
'cause
I know Oprah and she'd fund this.
Oh yeah, yeah. Um,
I want to learn more about the Green Book, particularly because we're starting to, I think, engage more with community access, especially during the summer months when there are street fairs and open streets and we're tabling. And we are now handing out swag bags, and we could either have the Green Book on the table for people to look at, or maybe a one-sheeter that would link them to your site, or we could have the actual books. What do you think?
I think that's brilliant. And I will say, you know, that's where I really need help. You guys can hear in the background, I have a one-year-old and a 4-year-old, and they are chaotic. And I see patients, and then I have a consulting business that I run, and then I'm doing this as like my advocacy work. And so it is a very hard thing to be able to kind of put in all the time that I want to be able to put in. But one thing I've been thinking a lot about is like, I want us to be in the places where communities are coming together. And like, that's health fairs, that's church services, that's, you know, and so I think, Dr. Roz, as you're mentioning that, like we have the materials ready to go. It's just a matter of like, where can I mail them to, or where can I drop them off at, so that people can like learn more about this and get it out there. So I think that that's absolutely brilliant.
Well, we have even on this Friday night, we're going to be tabling at the Sunnyside Pride. What's the exact name? Somebody tonight.
Sunny Pride.
Sunny Pride. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And you know, if we had those, we would certainly we're going to put some swag bags together on Friday during the day. And if we had them, they would have to go to the office. Where are you located?
I'm located in Brooklyn, but I could have these printed and get them over to you, or send you the PDF and just have you print them on a regular. I'll show you what it is that we give out. Let me just share my screen.
How many pages are we talking about?
It's just a one-page flyer, since it's since the timing is so short.
Oh, we can do that. We could print that. We have a nice
What it looks like. It just has
Okay.
of the Green Book, and then it has a QR code so that they can scan to get to the survey. And then just knowing about the Green Book, you can download it on the app as well. But that's what I would say. If you guys wouldn't mind printing that and adding it to the swag bags, that would be incredible.
I think, Raphael, don't you think that would be something we could make happen?
Yeah, let's make it happen.
Let's do it. Let's see what, where we go with it, what happens.
And now we're tabling at a lot of things. I went to the Queensboro Dance Festival hustle and on Saturday. I know our bags were there too as well. It just seems like we're involved in a lot of things. But then I'm also thinking about like definitely the presentation, we send it out to the rest of the community board members, because they may have the connections that you're speaking of, Dr. Safo. And then also I think we should also definitely put this in our newsletter, so we can reach out to the community engagement committee about all of that too. Amparo?
I'm also thinking about targeted outreach to public libraries, Brooklyn Public Library, Queens Public Library. You're going to get families there. You're going to get people. I mean, I know that they, like for like Medicaid outreach, like they do signups for like health insurance. So that would be something where if you know that like Health Plus is going to table, you might as well have someone, drop off a flyer or two, or make sure the QR code is available. I also think, Lauren, maybe we could connect Dr. Safo with the Birth by Queens. Like that might be a good connection. Just because, I mean, that's a population that we're, maternal mortality. This is a group of folks who are trying to get a standalone birth center open here in Queens. So I just feel like that would be a natural connection we can do.
Yeah, that'd be incredible. I also I'm very passionate about maternal health, so I'd love to learn more about what they're doing and support it if at all possible.
Okay.
I just placed into the app just so I can not forget some of the next steps, and I'm going to share the link for the flyer as well. If you guys want to grab that, and then I will
Okay.
tomorrow make sure that I send these along.
Okay.
Oh, I'm so excited.
I am too. Like when you reached out to the office, I was just like really excited because I personally I think they need to start reprinting the travel green book too. I mean, so I don't but no, I was really excited to hear about what you're doing and just, because and then I'm also thinking about like as recently too, like we've been hearing about like findablackdoctor.com and how
What's happened with
yeah,
them? Yeah,
yeah, and
yeah,
the kind of backlash against that, but it's also something that's needed.
absolutely.
I feel like
And it's part of the reason why I'm always clear, like anyone can utilize what's in the Green Book, the resource
hmm
guide, anyone can utilize it. And
yeah,
also Black folks really need something that's for them. And so
yeah,
we're unapologetic about that.
yeah, absolutely. So
Awesome. Well, thank you so
um
much for having me. These kids, AKA my employers, are calling me, so I'm gonna run. But I
Yeah.
really, really appreciate the time, and I will follow up on everything tomorrow morning.
okay, sounds good. Thank you, doctor.
Thank you so
Thank
Thank
much.
you.
you.
Okay,
Bye.
bye. Okay, excellent.
That was very interesting. I feel terrible because I do have a Black doctor, and I guess there are plenty of people that may need her more than me, but
Then no,
I'm not giving her away.
if you find
No,
no, this is the thing anyway. If you find a doctor that you like, yeah, you hold on to them. That's how
that's
I
right.
see that.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
You know, it's not always easy.
No, she came through One Medical, which am a big fan of, even though it's Amazon's entry into healthcare.
hmm
It actually is a system that works well for me, and I had to change because my doctor moved away. The other
hmm
time. Anyway, excellent.
Oh, this is everything. Oh, takeaways from the meeting. Okay. I'm just copying and putting that. Okay. So I have that.
When we did some of
Mm-hmm.
the handout for Woodside on the Move,
Mm-hmm.
Carisha had left a bunch of her palm cards, and we stuffed those in the bags. I don't see there's any problem with a nonprofit like that, and
Yeah.
like this one. I think we put whatever we can in. People are, people will take anything that's free, and maybe they don't use much of it or use some of it, but at least it keeps it moving.
Yeah. Or they need the information,
Yep.
so it's like, or if they don't, then maybe they know somebody who does. So yeah. And I appreciate all of that. I also I got the opportunity to go to the Mount Sinai health fair too. On Saturday. So I did double duty in terms of like,
How
okay, let
was
me check
that?
this out. It was really nice. I don't know. They had like the table set up for like you get flyers with different information. So I took some information about heart health and moving. So it's like, you're doing your chair exercises, how to get started and everything. They had the free ski free screenings for like blood pressure, cholesterol, stuff like that. And they had like activities for the kids from balloon making to art and to hula hooping and stuff. And then they also had the live DJ. So they also had, I didn't stay around for this, but they had a Zumba lesson, salsa lesson. And so it was really nice. It was a nice setup. But I took a lot of flyers and the swag, right? You get your pens and your
Yeah.
and your
Yep.
but it
Yep.
was really good. And then the hustle thing was a lot of fun too. So the hustle lesson. So it was a good Saturday.
Excellent.
Really good. Um So I know this was probably going to be a short meeting, but do we have, what is it? What's next? Old business?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Um,
New business?
not right now. I'm concerned that we don't depend on the newsletter for a while. I think it'll be a while before we actually see much of a newsletter.
Oh,
But
I'm sorry, I didn't realize that. So I'm promising things that I didn't realize. So
well,
we have to, Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, I mean, maybe, I think the goal is to aim to try to get something out by September.
Okay.
But,
Okay.
you know,
So
we'll see.
so that's fine though. So whenever it comes back out, we'll have that, and then we'll just work on these other things right now as far as this presentation is concerned, is making
Yeah.
sure that other people know about it. And like you said, Dr. Roz, the other events, tabling, we can get it out. And I think it's more important. I think we just make sure that we get it out to to the full board members, because they may have like
Yeah.
direct connections to things.
For sure,
So
for sure.
we'll just
Yeah.
do it that way.
I was really surprised with the tabling. I mean, I had taken an extra 6 boxes. Each box has about 8 of the swag bags home with me, thinking, well, we'll need it for another event. And we already had Carisha taken over boxes for the event. And I had to call my son to bring the rest of the boxes. And within an hour, we got rid of all of them.
Oh, okay.
So I think we ought to, we've got loads. I mean, we had a ton of materials kept in the office, and I think we're going to be able to use them. And the more we can put into the bags that's of use for people, the better.
No, agreed. But people like swag. I mean, that's the
Yep.
thing. And bags you can always use, right? I
Yep.
mean, so, but I like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, filling it up. And so it's like very informative about stuff that's going on in the community, another way to communicate with people. Yeah.
Well, one of the things I think as a standard item is we have that Know Your Community board that Michael Zorab rewrote and made much more readable. And then also the thing for his survey. And so those we're putting in every single bag.
Okay.
And so it'll be interesting to see what kind of response we get on that.
Okay.
Survey.
Okay.
All right. Well,
That's good. And I know last year we got a greater response than we usually get for the community survey. So
a
whatever.
lot greater.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
So whatever he was doing.
300% more.
Yeah. So
anyway, all right.
okay.
Do we have any of our new members that are joining this committee?
We have a new member.
Rabbi Weinberg, right?
Yeah. But is he okay, or is he maybe because nobody's here except the 3 of us, right?
He was here. He
He joined last month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then and then
But he wasn't at the meeting, the full board meeting either. So
yeah,
I hope he's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And then hopefully we get some other people attending. And I'm going to follow up about our public member, what we had discussed with in terms of getting asking. So I'll follow up rather than saying who I'm talking about. Yeah, well, I'm going to follow up with that. And so I spoke to Anatole about that. So I'm supposed to follow up with that. Okay.
Perfect.
We're trying to get our public member. All right.
All right.
So I guess I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Yes.
And I'll second it.
Okay. All right. Okay.
And I'm going to make the debate too.
Okay. Yeah. It works out perfectly for you, Dr. Roz.
It isn't
Okay.
exactly overly crowded. One person who is here is Tom Matuzas.
Okay.
And today, as I was riding my bike back from the dentist on Madison Avenue, I hear, Dr. Roz, Dr. And so I pulled up and I realized, oh, it was Tom. Apparently his company has just bought the Helmsley Palace Hotel.
Oh.
So that's pretty special.
Okay.
So quite a ways from Bristol. But anyway, so it was really nice to see him. And I told him, and so I just saw him walk by in the hall today.
Okay.
So, all righty. Anyway,
Okay.
lovely talking to everybody.
Same here. And thank you, everybody. Take care. And thank you, Raphael.
Good night.
Okay. All right.
Have a great
Bye.
summer, folks.
You
I
too.
don't see you around.
Okay. All right. Bye.